This is demonstrated in an incident that took place before he publicly announced his prophethood. One day, Muhammad climbed to the top of a hill and called out to all the tribes of his city. They quickly gathered around him, and he asked them, "O Quraysh, if I say that an army is advancing on you from behind the mountains, will you believe me?" All said in one voice, "Yes, because we have never heard you telling a lie." All the people of his city, without any exception, bore witness to his lifelong truthfulness and honesty, for he had lived a pure and pious life among them for 40 years. Even after publicly announcing his prophethood, when many of his people turned against him and the message of the Quran, he still retained a reputation of being trustworthy and truthful. Such was their trust in his noble character that even though they had turned into his enemies, opposed the Quran and persecuted him and his companions, they still entrusted him with their valuables for safekeeping. There is an incident that took place when he had to flee his home city by nightfall because of a plot by his enemies to murder him whilst he slept. Whilst he was making plans to escape, he still had in his possession the valuables belonging to the people plotting to murder him, since he was leaving behind his house and furniture to take their valuables in place of his own would have been seen as the smallest of compensations. But such was his honest character that before his departure the Prophet asked his cousin Ali to stay behind to ensure every article in his house was given back to its rightful owner. Liars in common typically display certain behavior and share a common psychological profile. They have a reputation for lying that starts out with small lies which gradually get bigger and bigger. Does it make sense that Muhammad, a person who had never told a lie, neither big nor small, during his entire life, would start lying by inventing the biggest lie of all, that he had been chosen by God to be his prophet and receive the Quran? How could Muhammad tell lies about God when he did not tell lies about human beings? His conduct shows his steadfast honesty even in the most difficult times. Muhammad's personal speech does not match the Quran. If the Quran was a product of the mind of Muhammad, then wouldn't you expect its style to be similar to his personal speech? Recently, linguistic research has been conducted to compare the style of speech found in the Quran with thousands of statements made by Muhammad, a prophetic tradition known as Hadith. as memorized by his companions and recorded in the books of Hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari was the book used to compare against the Quran. This book happens to be the most authentic collection of thousands of Muhammad's sayings in existence. Studies were performed, and all the results of this investigation from a linguistic perspective have shown that the two works must have different authors. Some of the results that form the basis of this conclusion include: words composed of a single letter are much more frequently used in the Quran than in the Hadith. The Quran contains approximately twice the number of words with 9 and 10 letters than the Hadith. This fact shows that the Quranic vocabulary contains longer words than the Hadith. Words are longer than 8 letters. Most importantly, 62% of the words from the Hadith are not found in the Quran, and 83% of the Quran words are not found in the Hadith. This conclusion of differing vocabulary is also reinforced by the above mentioned results. If the Quran was a product of Muhammad's mind, then how is it possible that he maintained two distinct styles of speech over a period of 23 years, without ever combining the styles? Remember that many verses of the Quran were revealed instantaneously in response to unexpected events, so there was no opportunity to take time and carefully plan what was being said in order to maintain the different styles. This is surely a psychological and physiological impossibility. Moreover, Muhammad experienced many trials and tribulations during the course of his prophetic mission. For example, his children died, his beloved wife Khadija passed away, he was boycotted, and his close companions were tortured and killed. These emotions come through in the Hadith. You find some instances of sadness and anger in his personal statements due to the extreme situations he faced. However, the Quran consistently remains divine in voice.